Welcome to my ramblings. This episode, Mensa, not just for astrophysicists. I passed the Mensa qualifying test, and did I want to become a member of Mensa? I really wasn't sure. I thought of when I heard, what Mensa was. I'm thinking all these astrophysicists, Nobel winners, and people that write great works of literature and or become great entrepreneurs. And just that's what I thought of Mensa. But then I started reading about Mensa, and for every astrophysicist, there's a gifted teacher. For every great writer of um, literature, there's a hardworking middle management guy that's just doing stuff, I guess. And unfortunately for every other leading member of society, maybe a Nobel Prize winner for whatever of the many categories they um, award Nobel prizes for, there's a high school dropout. After kind of reading through that, well, I mean, I sit somewhere between a high school dropout and an astrophysicist, and that was uh, that was really that was kind of the deciding point. I went ahead and joined. I mean, I qualified. I still had to, apply and pay membership dues. Um, they have a lot of different little societies, and one I joined for a while was an engineering group. And what's kind of interesting is sometime when I was at PwC, maybe it was during the internship, I had come across a book at a library or something, and I think it's probably at PwC. I would have had more of an interest in this book at that time after the internship, but it was about upgrading old building electrical systems. And there's a lot of stuff in there about all the old styles of wiring and insulation degradation, things like that. And lo and behold, and this was written by an electrician, but they would know more about the conditions in the field than an electrician, right? And lo and behold, the guy that wrote the book is actually the head of this engineering group. And a lot of the members, all but me, I guess, were actually electricians. There's probably a membership of 5 or 6. And, there's a lot of interesting things said. And, I thought it was rather interesting, but work demands, family demands, and I couldn't stay with the society. I checked back for a while, and you get transferred because jobs are going away due to base realignment, and sort of lost touch with that. But anyway, so that's why I decided to join Mensa. I mean, it's almost a sad commentary at people with supposedly really high IQs, and I don't want this to sound like bragging. I'm dropping out of school because the school didn't know what to do with them. The worst thing they say that you could do which I learned because after I lost my job, I decided to get a job in teaching, and I went to Benedictine University uh, for a program that Illinois sponsors, the state of Illinois, for people who worked in their field for more than 5 years and had a degree in the field that they worked in. They could take sort of a fast track to teaching. You had to take a bunch of courses and what have you, but what it meant is you didn't have to go back now and get a bachelor of degree in education, essentially. And some of the programs where you get a master's degree, and there were other things. But when it comes to students like that, I guess in the past, teachers would just give them extra work of the same thing, boring same work, just doing the same thing over and over. That was really the wrong way to address that. And I think schools back then, they were trying to train students for factory work, and that's why the school seating was arranged the way it was. Um, you know, Society in the United States has changed, the economy has changed, and we're not necessarily producing people that cookie cutter education for a cookie cutter job in a factory. It's more about, expanding people, trying to get the most out of them, and addressing, you know, trying to educate them as high as they're capable, within, certain limits and stuff. So anyway, I just thought I'd address that. Uh, I think the issue of, you know, a lot of people dropping out of high school that had high IQs was just sort of one of the reasons that when I was looking for work, I thought I'd try a career as teaching. But unfortunately, I had a Bachelor of Science degree. They still let me in because I had been doing substitute teaching, and some of the things I came up with, uh, he thought the guy, the um, the guy that ran the program, thought it was promising, but everybody else either had PhDs or master degrees. So when we were going out applying for limited number of, high school science, physics, and junior high math classes, guess who was getting the job? Yeah, the PhDs and the people with the Master of Science degrees. But uh, you know, um, I ended up going back into engineering and working for a couple of private firms after that. But anyway, that's the story. Mensa. See you next episode.